Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shreyan Laha, and on this channel, I post things related to perfumes. So, as the title suggests, today I'll be reviewing the Isak Fragrances Discovery Set. And as you can see, there are 9 perfumes here in total. And this company is relatively new, but it has taken the Indian fragrance market by storm. So, what better way to, you know, review these perfumes than to try them all at once? But and this will be a blind test, so there'll be a couple of disclaimers regarding that as well. I'd separate this video in two halves because one would be for the initial impression, as I'd be doing now, and second one would be what I felt regarding the perfume in its dry down, because as you might know, perfumes in its dry down tells a different story. So let's begin. First of all, let's look at this box, and they provided this one, their range of products and the perfumes that they have along. So as you can see, 9 perfumes. I've taken the first perfume, which is Fifth and Always. Wonder why they named it Fifth and Always. It should be First and Always, isn't it? Burns. Why does it burn? See, the initial impressions are rosy, musky. Probably it has a base of sandalwood as well. I don't know. I try it later on and then say. But all in all, it did not appeal to me. It felt rather ordinary. And you see, these are some of the notes: rose, musk. They bring out the best in the fragrance, and they exude the royalty. So, to be frank, this is a bad beginning. I hope the other notes, other fragrances in this series make up for this own goal. Sunshine and Me. This is the second fragrance, and I like it. The lemony citrus notes, that's there in excess. Probably ginger too. And it's rather unisex because scents which have citric, gingery notes, you would squarely put them in the masculine category. This one is unisex. It has a bluish green profile, and I suspect there are marine notes as well, and we'll see it later on. But the first impression is definitely better than the earlier one that we tried, that is Fifth and Always. This is getting energetic. It progressively gets better. You know, probably the people who were packaging this at Isak Perfumes, they knew what they were doing. They were keeping it better and better. So normally, I love lavender, so it has lavender notes. It's a masculine fragrance. It's ordinary, but at the same time, it's impressive. It's tailor-made for date nights, special occasions, and the name of this one is Above and Beyond. And this perfume, it went above and beyond to impress me. Good job, good job. The fourth one is Crimson Wood. Oh God. Wow. I love it. So, see, oud fragrances are obviously regal. It's wonderful. You have that Middle Eastern vibe, but this one is different. There is you can find the oud, but apart from that, there's a sort of bubblegummy accord that I feel along with this one. It's as if someone has mashed together Tom Ford Oud and Baccarat Rouge 540 together. Oh God. This one hits it out of the park. Seriously, this one is a Crimson Oath. This is the one to look forward to. I'm looking forward to its dry down. Love Song. We are halfway down the line. We are in the fifth fragrance right now. The name of this one is Love Song, as you can see. So, and the name is accurate enough because it has a lemon-like masculine fragrance. It's also accentuated with jasmine, which gives it a feminine touch. Altogether, it's unisex. I felt these two notes initially, and I like the name and how the overall vibe encapsulates in this song. Perfume. Love Song. Good one. Now let's get to the sixth. This one is called Cosmic Dance. Should we get something extraterrestrial out of this one? Something science fiction. And Ettu Tobacco Vanille. Ettu Tobacco Vanille. This one is almost 90% similar to Tobacco Vanille. Yep, tobacco and vanilla accords, and vanilla is a bit more overpowering in this one. And this is an Armaf level surprise they gave all of a sudden. Whether it's an inspired version or not, I can only say it after the dry down. Wait for the latter part of this video, I would say. This one is called The Edge of Dreams. Does it mean lucid dreams? Because that's what happens when we are at the edge of staying awake and being asleep. Wait, let's try it in this hand, because then it gets smashed up with other perfumes and it doesn't smell accurate. This one is straight out of the 80s, and before the current generation, that is after 2000, mid 2000s, when scents with lemony, orangey, citrusy accords got popular for male fragrances. These kind of fragrances dominated the market, which had a very musky, clean, herbal vibe. So this might feel old-fashioned or vintage depending upon your age. So I'd wait for a few more hours and then I'd tell you more regarding this in its dry down. Forest Rain. This is the second last one. Interesting. This one has geosmin incarnate, and geosmin is that molecule which gives Petrichor its unique scent. You can find others like these plenty in shops near mosques, and they call it the Mitti Atar. So great to have a perfume variant of this one. I remember trying Mitti Noir of Perfumologist by Mohit Khatri. So it smells almost similar to that one. And if anyone wants to know about the history of Indian perfumery, these are the kind of fragrances which we historically love to apply. So wonderful rendition of the perfume format. I'd only smelled this in Atar apart from Perfumologist's Mitti Noir. So after a long time I'm coming across this kind of smell. Beautiful. So finally we have Top of the World. Is the name inspired from the Imagine Dragons song? This one battered like a tail ender. So nothing on Top of the World, but it does have the combo of an ozonic smell. It's pretty airy, and the citric part is not holding together. It's rather fleeting. It doesn't stay grounded at all. There's something stronger in this perfume as well. Probably cinnamon. Yeah, cinnamon. So hello everyone, and we meet after 2 hours with the verdict of the dry down, and This is what I feel. So, Fifth and Always was the first fragrance, and surprisingly, this made a comeback. The chemical obviously wasn't going to be, you know, so lethal and on your nose forever. Obviously, it will settle down. And when it settled down, I felt a lot of sandalwood in all its glory. So, this is the case with fragrances. Sometimes you may not initially like it, but after it's dry down or after 2 or 3 or 10 wears, it kind of grows on you. And secondly, there's Sunshine and Me, the second fragrance. Now, Sunshine and Me has a rather calming down effect, almost like Tam Dao of the tea. There's less of citrus and musk, and you know, it has a K fragrance vibe, which is very minimalistic and close to your skin. But if you don't like fragrances being your personal bodily vibe, you like your fragrances being projected and you want to suffocate everyone in the room, I wouldn't suggest this one for you. So this is delicate for its price range, but still it has enough sillage and it's pretty decent. The third one is Above and Beyond. Now, Above and Beyond had a linear breakdown. It was wonderful at first, but I knew what to expect from it. Woody, sandalwood. Now, and I have this thing for the fragrances of the old world, of the 1980s, 90s, which were, you know, very woody, musky, clean, often chypre, and rather than being intense with full citric blast at the top, there was a much more cleaner appeal to it. Now, that is the reason I also said why this Above and Beyond impressed me. Then comes Crimson Oud. Crimson Oud was the one that overpowered all the fragrances in my hand when I tried it earlier. So I can still smell it in my palms. The dry down is musky, ambery, and like I earlier said, this is one of the fragrance we need to keep our eyes on. Then there's Love Song. So it starts as unisex, but as the notes progressed, I found it leaning towards the feminine. Now, honestly speaking, this one solves a lot of issues regarding women's fragrances in general, because see, I am a perfume lover and this video would go out to a lot of perfume lovers in general, but think from the perspective of a common man or common woman in this sense. Whenever she would go to any store and she would ask for perfume, she would be offered the same floral, same fruity, same vanilla accords, and overall everything would be a combination of these three. She would rarely get something out of the box, except maybe say examples like Elizabeth Arden's green tea. There are not many perfumes out of the box. This one, Isak Fragrances Love Song, this one can be one of the perfumes if someone wants to stand out in amongst other women. And then there's Cosmic Dance. Cosmic Dance danced a different style. I was expecting Bharatnatyam and it ended up as salsa. So there's a mix of sandalwood, leather that I found in the dry down as listed in the notes breakdown. So it begins as a fusion of two critically acclaimed perfumes, like I earlier said. But as it progressed, it turned very Middle Eastern-y. Now it had a really smoky vibe. Now, if you love smoky dry downs, this perfume is for you. But for me personally, I would love the smoke accord on the top, just like, you know, say Victor and Rolf Spice Bomb, and the smoke accords are on top. Then there's the Edge of Dreams. Now, Edge of Dreams has a bit of oud which becomes apparent as it was drying down. See, oud is a heavy note. To compensate for oud, one needs to put large amounts of other chemicals, almost more than 70 to 80% of ratio. But even then, you would find the oud lingering somewhere deep in the perfumes. Now, my personal opinion is I expected a lot more of musk, lavender, but then I got oud. Now, what I think is they are, by they I mean obviously Isak Perfumes, they are looking at the emerging trends in Indian market and they are following it closely. And there's a rise in popularity of Oud perfumes primarily for its longevity, and this is what maybe Isak Perfumes are trying to capitalize. Next we have Forest Rain. Now just it was just as expected. It's much like a Mitti Atar which we can find almost anywhere. Now this scent is quite magical, this petrichor smell, and you would obviously love it. But since it's a fragrance that was largely popular in Indian niche market and I have tried it over and over again, so that excitement kinds of fade away. But if you are trying petrichor based fragrance for the first time, surely go for it. It's wonderful stuff in all its entirety. Now lastly there's Top of the World, and this was personal because this the dry down reminded me of a teacher who used to teach us when I was in third grade, and the cologne note along with the sweet presence of cinnamon, it was out of the ordinary. Not many perfumes have this combination, so all in all it stood out and it's wonderful. So this brings me to the most pertinent question: which are the fragrances I would suggest you to buy from the Isak brand? Now this depends whether you are Indian or from the West. For most of us, I would say the brand tried to research about Indian tastes really well, as it's apparent by some of its fragrances like Edge of Dreams and Cosmic Dance. So I would say my personal favorite would be Crimson Wood, Sunshine and Me, and Forest Rain. Now again, if you are someone who's watching from abroad, from West, I would suggest Forest Rain first because that gives you a glimpse into Indian perfume history, and that followed by Cosmic Dance and then Crimson Wood. So I hope you liked this video, found it informative, and do let me know in the comments regarding what are your suggestions if you have tried all these fragrances. So thank you for your precious time.